Hello, lovely people. I am not the owner of this account. However, I was asked to share my experience with her, so that's what I shall be doing. So, I am not here for the drama. I dropped out of that a long time ago. However, I did want to make it known what kind of person she truly is. The lies, her manipulation, the gaslighting towards her fans, and the claims that it was AI or never happened. Or that it happened when she was a minor, and she knows what she's done, yet she still makes up so many lies about all of it. That's why I'm speaking on my experience with her. I had met her in 2021, and as of that point, a lot had happened long before I even joined. She went through amino communities nearly daily due to raiders, and she would run off and build a new one each time. I found her on Twitter from a group of map hunters who sent me plenty of evidence on her, so I decided to check it out. And upon joining her community, she was in voice call with someone who we shall call Jay. Me and Jay ended up becoming fairly close friends, along with his girlfriend. Cherry was obsessed with Jay and was extremely creepy towards him, but with him being an adult, nothing could really be done about that. She went as far as trying to ruin Jay and his girlfriend's relationship, but thankfully that did not work. The first time I joined her call, I was banned within literal seconds. Jay had accused her of being sexist, and then she let me back into the call. The first time my face revealed to her community, she started calling me ugly and many other misogynistic slurs simply because Jay had complimented me. Though me and Jay became friends instantly, I knew he had a partner and I did myself, but Lizzie could not respect that. And Jay had also made it clear that she was extremely hateful towards any woman that would join her communities or chats, simply because she was obsessed with being the center of attention. My first week within her communities, it was nothing but drama, people exposing her about her OCs, exposing her for her pedophilia and her absolute lack of regard for any human being. She got raided nearly daily because of her behavior, and I had found out that she claimed her OCs told her to unalive her family. Her OCs were always low effort and stolen art from Pinterest, however. It didn't take long for the blatant pedophilia to start. She started inviting not safe for work people into her community full of minors. She was a role player, so she role played with people fairly often and would use the excuse that her OC is a minor, so it would be okay for that OC to do a not safe for work role play with another minor. Then I come to meet three young males. We shall call them D, G, and B. She announced in a public chat that she had just had a threesome with G, B, and D in a private chat. I messaged each one of them to find out their ages. All had turned out to be minors. The youngest, G, being 15 while she was 21. While this was my first experience of catching her doing stuff with minors, it was not the first incident. Before I'd come around, she had multiple recurrences of pedophilic behaviors. Here are some of the incidents that I have heard her admit herself that happened before I came around. 1. She had an incident where she was forcing a 14-year-old to date her OC, then would get aggressive towards this kid for talking to their friends. 2. She had a best friend in real life who was 14. She exposed them to porn and also diddled herself in the room with a 14-year-old while the minor was asleep, which led to her parents putting parental controls on her phone. But that didn't change anything because she was still doing horrible stuff to minors on Amino. And she was still hanging out with this 14-year-old in real life, despite exposing the child to things that no 14-year-old should see from an adult. She had also admitted that her ex-boyfriend, who was also an adult, diddled her 14-year-old friend whilst not seeing the issue that she caused. There were many other smaller occurrences, such as her being caught not safe for work role-playing with minors, her saying age doesn't matter, her claiming a 20-year-old and a 7-year-old can date as long as there's no sexual contact, her blaming it on her OCs. There were also multiple times where she was just racist, transphobic, homophobic, and sexist as well. The Amino drama did not stop there. I realized how obsessed she was over male attention in her communities and would often let men get away with anything in her communities, including putting minors in danger. Since she would invite 18+ not safe for work communities into her own communities, we would often find other maps mixing into these communities. Even after warning her about these people being dangerous towards minors, she refused to ban them and would often take bribes as well. One person had messaged me asking me to play with myself on call and offering amino coins in exchange. She refused to ban that person despite him being inappropriate and making other community members uncomfortable, simply because he offered her tons of amino coins to stay in the community. She then called me a liar despite me sending the screenshots of him doing this stuff. She had also sold inappropriate photos of herself to a minor for amino coins. She didn't care that he was a minor, she was more upset that she didn't get the 70k amino coins and got scammed. At this point, I had managed to get in contact with her family, and they told me she was no longer allowed on the app. Things were peaceful for a short time until she started making new accounts. The second we would find out that it was her, she would delete the account, only to make a new account within a day. It was clear that this was an addiction for her. She then made her final new account. She told us she was no longer grounded from amino and was allowed back. However, this did not last long, and within those few long days, she had called a minor daddy. After I called her out on it, telling her that it's not okay, she claimed that it was a joke. He had made it clear that the comment had made him uncomfortable, but she didn't care one bit. After trying to explain that it wasn't okay to call him that kind of thing, especially since he's a minor, and I was trying to help her to stop doing these kinds of things with minors, she just ignored me and made it blatantly clear that she was ignoring me. I had messaged her family letting them know that I don't think she should be ungrounded from amino, and it turns out that she was never allowed back on the app to begin with and was lying to us all. She had somehow managed to get around the parental controls on her phone that banned her from the app by stealing her mom's phone and giving herself access to it. I wish I could say that this was the end of it, but it's not. She had moved to the Project Z app, which is basically the same thing as amino, just with a different name, where she was doing the same thing. Thankfully, she got bored of the app within some time. Then she had moved to Zepeto. I wasn't around for this part. I'm not sure what happened around that time. However, I wouldn't be surprised if it was basically the same stuff. I still spoke to her on Instagram, one of the few things that she knew about my real life. However, she had tried to dox me and even gave an untrustworthy person my personal information, and had asked for help with doxing me from someone who is also a known pedophile on the app. This person thankfully warned me about it instead of doxing me. Then she had threatened to contact my mom, which wouldn't go anywhere considering I was 22 at this point and moved out of the house. Not long later, she had followed an 11-year-old I know on Instagram and multiple other people in my hometown. I had to speak with her about boundaries and how it's not okay to follow people that are in my real life, especially children. She didn't care. She tried to accuse me of hiding something because I didn't want her following people I know in real life, especially the minors, and said that she didn't understand why I was uncomfortable with her trying to make new friends, then turned around on me saying that it's creepy that I follow people she knows from amino, those being people that I also knew from amino. Months had gone by, and I had thought that she was finally done with everything and left all her toxicity behind. Until the day someone reached out to me about her YouTube and Roblox content and what she was doing on donation games, using children for Robux, calling minors daddy, humping minors in game, running a Discord server full of primarily minors. Her behavior, of course, didn't change. A YouTube video had been made exposing her. So many comments were full of people talking about their own trauma involving her, and victims admitting that this is true. The horrors, of course, continued. I found out one of the people she hangs around that defends her constantly was also known for having sex parties on Meep City. Yet she was running a game with millions of kids playing it. Lizzie changed up her personality, running to hide from everything now, going by Cherry and completely hiding away from everything. When she was called out for these behaviors, she denied everything. Once her past was exposed, she claimed it was fake, it was AI, and none of it ever happened. Despite there being a video of her admitting what she had done to one of her first victims. She then started stealing assets from other donation games for her own game, putting so much stress on these kids who helped her develop the game without even paying them. She got banned from Please Donate for literally manipulating people into giving her Robux. Was exposed for being creepy towards so many minors in the game. And still to this day, she continues to blame it on her autism or having a mentality of a child. The horrors have never stopped, they just moved on to a different app, of course. She has many minors helping her with her games that she refuses to pay because her alt having core blocks is more important than paying her team that helps her. They get paid in Robux, they don't even get paid in real cash for all their time and effort. The kids moderating her Discord get no pay and are basically just slaves for her. It had gotten to a point where she was so greedy for Robux that she stole $6,000 that was meant for home repairs for her family's home and used it on Robux. She's recently been exposed for dating yet another minor, claiming he's an adult, but the evidence says otherwise. She showed us a fake ID to prove that he's an adult, but the ID was clearly fake. And after being called out for that, she then deleted the message of the evidence with the fake ID. Best case scenario, he's catfishing her. Worst case scenario, she is forcing him to lie about his age so that she doesn't get caught. She has a long history of abusing her power within YouTube, Amino, Roblox, and other apps. Using people for attention, abusing people to get her way, and being straight up manipulative as well. She often bans people for simply not getting her way or for them saying things that she disagrees with. She'll use kids to build her games, then stop them from being a developer for her game and stealing their assets at the slightest inconvenience. She is also known for being very cruel to other women for no reason, calling them misogynistic slurs or rude names over jealousy. Even banning a woman from her chat because she had a look in her eye that made her seem like a child toucher, which makes zero sense. She has been homophobic, transphobic, and racist for a very long time, then claimed that she can't be transphobic because she believes that she is trans but doesn't want to get disowned by her family. Though I sincerely doubt that because she has a history of faking multiple disorders, such as dissociative identity disorder and many others. She refuses to leave her parents' home and uses the autism excuse very often. She doesn't want to work and expects to leech off her parents for the rest of her life. Though this is unrelated to her horrendous behaviors, it takes a part in her toxicity, often bragging about her luxury life because she doesn't have to do anything to get what she wants. She's entitled and disrespectful about it as well. She even dropped out of school to focus on Amino. Her behavior is truly disgusting. Lizzie is a manipulative person who uses people time and time again. She will go to any lengths to make sure other people look like the bad guy rather than admitting to her wrongdoings herself. She deflects, blames, and victimizes herself in any situation possible. She will never change. She doesn't care to change. And she will continue these behaviors as long as she has the option to, whether it is forcing minors into relationships with her or just blatantly using people to get her way. God forbid anyone try to help her because she refuses to take any criticism for her actions and sees it as an attack on her rather than help. She will never grow from these patterns. All she wants is a yes man who will defend her no matter how bad her actions are. This is really all I have to say right now, as I cannot recount everything that has happened within the time that I've known her. However, thank you, Bones, for giving me an opportunity to speak my mind on your channel. And at the end of the day, I truly hope Cherry/Lizzie gets the help that she truly needs and gets away from the internet, especially children's games, as it is very damaging towards the kids who are near her, and possibly even herself, showing clear addictions to having power over kids. So here are some of Cherry's worst qualities: pedophilia, racism, homophobia, sexism, deflection, manipulation, obsession, absolute psychopathic tendencies, refusal to grow up, work, or simply do anything with her life other than sit around all day, and last but not least, jealousy. The internet is a scary place, and it's even scarier when people like her exist out there. That's why it's important to stay safe online. Be aware of who you are around online and who has your personal information. Do not out yourselves in vulnerable situations, and don't let yourself end up in these kinds of situations. Thank you for listening to this and possibly caring about this. I wish you all the best, and I hope that you finally see the truth about her. And with that, I bid you all farewell.